Hi, I'm Wolfie, and today I'm going to read Magic Treehouse lines at lunchtime. Jack and Annie were walking home from the grocery store. Jack's pack was heavy. It held a big jar of peanut butter and a loaf of bread. "Are you going to have peanut butter and jelly sandwich?" said Annie, "or a peanut butter and honey sandwich?" Jack tried to answer but stopped. "Oh man," he whispered. "What is it?" said Annie. "Look at that," said Jack. He pointed to the edge of Frog Creek Woods. In a shadow stood a small, delicate animal. It looked like a tiny deer. "It's a sign," whispered Annie. "Remember when we saw the rabbit? It was a sign of the Wild West." The deer-like creature leaped into the woods. Jack and Annie didn't stop to think. They followed as fast as they could. Jack's heavy pack thumped against his back as he ran. Finally, he stopped and looked around. "Where did she go?" he said. "I don't see her," said Annie. "Oh, wow," said Annie. She pointed up. There was a magic tree house. It was shining in the noon sun. At the top of the tallest tree in the woods, its rope ladder swayed in the shadows below. "Where's Morgan?" said Annie. Morgan O'Fay wasn't waving at them from the window. She wasn't even at the window. "I don't know. Let's go up," said Jack. They climbed the ladder and went into the treehouse. Sunlight streamed through the window. It lit a stack of books and 2 scrolls in the corner. The ancient scrolls he held the answer to the riddle. Jack and Annie had solved earlier. Jack took off his heavy backpack. "Did Morgan leave us a third riddle?" said Annie. Looking for some and softwood. Jack and Annie rolled around. "Morgan," said Annie. Morgan O'Fay had appeared out of nowhere. She looked ancient and lovely in the bright light. "Do you still want to become master librarians?" she asked Jack and Annie, "so you can help me in my work?" "Yes," they said together. "Wonderful," Morgan said. Then she reached into the robot and pulled out a scroll. "You've solved 2 riddles so far," she said. "Here is your 3rd riddle." She handed the scroll to Annie, and "For your research," she pulled a book out from her robe and handed it to Jack. The book's cover said "The Land of Africa." "Africa," said Jack. "Oh man, I've always wanted to go there." He opened the book. He and Annie started at the picture. It showed hordes of zebras, tall giraffes, big animals with horns, and tiny deer-like creatures. "Hey, that's the animal that led us here," said Annie. "The Thompson gazelle." "I believe," Morgan said. Where are the lions?" said Jack. "You'll find out," said Morgan. Maybe we need to plan this trip," said Jack. Morgan smiled. "Go ahead, make your wish now." Annie pointed at the picture. "I wish we could go there." "Be careful," said Morgan. "Just keep an eye out for what?" said Jack. "The lions, of course," she said. Wait, said Jack. Too late. The wind had started to blow. The treehouse had started to spin, and Jack's races like the treehouse spun faster and faster. Then everything was still, obviously still. Had ever imagined in one place giraffes and zebras were on the slide of the river? They where Jack and Annie were thrown sons, castles, and the big horned animals were on the other side. Where are the lions? Said Jack. I don't know, said Annie. Do you think it's always this crowded? Let's find out, said Jack. He picked up the book on Africa and looked at the picture of animals. He read out loud. Every year in late spring, thousands of devils and cows will millions of wild beasts, wildebeests, migrate from the dry plains of Tanzania to Kenya. What's migrate mean? Said Annie. Jack pushed his glasses into place. It means that they go someplace else for part of the year, like birds going south for the winter. All right, said Annie. Jack turned the page to read more before they are safe in Kenya. The animals must first cross the Mara River. Zebras go first, then the wild beasts, the tiny castles swim last. Oh, said Annie in a sad voice. What's wrong? Said Jack. Poor beasts. He looked out the window. They seemed afraid. On the far side of the river, the horned animals were standing at the edge of the steep bank of the river. They started down. Nervously at the rushing water, jump, beasts, jump. Annie shouted, don't be silly, they can hear you, said Jack. He studied the road plan. I wonder where the lions are, he said. I don't know, but I have to go, said Annie. Go where? Said Jack. To the river to help them, she said. Help who? Said Jack. Those wild beasts on the other side. And Annie, I have to help them migrate. Are you nuts? Said Jack. Annie handed Jack and rolled and started out of the treehouse. Wait a second, said Jack. We haven't even read Morgan's riddle yet. Annie stopped on the ladder. Read it now, he said. Jack unrolled the ancient scroll and read loud. I'm the color of gold and as sweet as can be, but beware of the danger. What's all around me? What am I? Annie started down again, and we'll look for the answer in a minute, said Annie. What are you doing? Jack called, but there was no stopping her. Jack watched as he hopped off the ladder. Then he started to walk through the tall grass. Between the zebras and giraffes, I don't believe her, he said to himself. He quickly put the Africa book into his pack. He started down the ladder. When he stepped onto the ground, he looked around carefully. The giraffes were eating the tree leaves. The zebras were grazing in the grass. Tons of birds flapped overhead. This is okay, he thought. He just had one little question. Where are the lions? Disaster. Come on, Jack. And because she was almost to the river. Just a minute, she shouted. He wanted to study the giraffes and zebras. He pulled out the Africa book and found a picture of giraffe. He read, the giraffe is the tallest animal in the world. Its legs are alone can be 6 feet tall, and its hooves can be as big as dinner plates. The giraffe has a very powerful kick, which makes it dangerous to attack. For the reason lions tend to avoid giraffes. Jack pulled out his notebook and wrote notes on Africa. Lions avoid giraffes. He turned the page and read more. Zebras live in family groups, as no two zebras had actually the same pattern of stripes. Every baby zebra must learn its own mother's pattern. Jack studied the zebras, trying to see their different patterns, but in the hazy afternoon lights, all of the stripes made him dizzy. He blinked to clear the head. Then he read more. Zebras are the first to cross the river because they eat the coarsest grass. After they've thinned down the top layer, the wild beasts arrive and eat the next layer. They prepare the grass for the gazelles who come last. Well done, Jack. Each animal depends on the one that goes before. He wrote animals all connected. Jack heard Anthony shouting from the riverbank, "Jump, beasts, jump! You can do it! Don't be afraid! Come on!" Jump. Jack sighed. "I'd better stop her before there's trouble," he thought. He put away the Africa book and his notebook. Then he jogged toward the river. His pack was heavy and lumpy, bumping against his back. He'd forgotten to take out the jar of peanut butter and the loaf of bread. Jack decided to leave them at the treehouse. He turned to go back, but just then Annie said, "Stop." Jack looked at the river. She had vanished. Annie. He called. No answer. There was she. Annie. Jack shouted. She had completely disappeared. "Oh man," said Jack. The had barely begun and already disaster of He forgot about the stuff in his pack. He just ran as fast as he could. He wove his way between the grazing zebras and giraffes as he raced to the river. "Help!" called Annie. "Mud bath." Jack looked over the edge of the riverbank. Annie had fallen into a pool of mud near the water. The thick black mud was up to her chest. "I slipped," she said. "It feels like quicksand." Jack threw down his pack and got on his knees. "Be careful," said Annie. Don't slip to Jack pointed to a table of old tree roots sticking out of the bank. Grab those, he said. Annie reached for the roots. Too far, she said, breathing hard. I'm sinking. She was sinking. The mud was up to her neck. Hold on, Jack looked around. Why did he saw a fallen tree branch near the bank? He raced to it, picked it up, and carried it back to Annie. Only her head and arms stuck out of the mud now. Jack held at the branch. Annie grabbed it. Hold tight, said Jack. I'll drag you over to the roots. He started pulling on the branch. I'm still sinking, and he wailed. The mud was up to her chin. Come on, said Jack. You can do it. I know you can. Try. Just then, Jack heard a splash. He looked up on the other side of the wide river. A wild beast had jumped into the water. Another jumped, then another. They were headed right toward Jack and Annie. Hold on tight, said Jack. He pulled on the stick again. Annie moved a tiny bit. Hey, Jack on the moon. It felt like I weighed 10 pounds, said Annie. And in this mud, it feels like I weigh a ton. Concentrate, Annie said Jack, trying to not to slip down the bank. I am the lead. Wild beasts were halfway across, swimming toward them. Many more wild beasts were jumping into the water. It's now or never, said Jack. He took a deep breath. He pulled really hard. Just then a shadow passed over them. Jack looked up. Uh-oh, he said. A huge vulture circled overhead. I think it thinks you're near the end, said Jack. Oh, get out of here, Annie shouted at the vulture. I'm fine. I am a burst of fury. She let go of the branch. She longed for the roots. She grabbed them. Yes, cried Jack. Pull slowly. Annie pulled herself out. She was covered with the black mud from head to toe. Jack helped her onto the bank, getting mud all over himself. See, Annie shook her first at the vulture. I'm fine now. But the giant ugly bird still circled. Come on, let's get away from him, said Jack. He pushed his glasses into his rust, he said. Now his glasses were muddy. He tried to clean his hands in the grass. Oh no, shouted Annie. Jack turned to her. The wild beasts will get stuck in the mud hole. She cried. She waved her arms at the wild beasts. Struggled to swim across the river. Not here, she shouted. Not here, but the frantic swimmer she kept coming. Chapter 5. Ha ha. Oh no, 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 shouted Annie. She raced down the bank until she reached a sandy, clear spot. Here, here, she called. The wild beasts followed her with their wild eyes. Jack watched in desperately at the swimmers change the course. Slowly at the wild beasts swam to where Annie stood. She waved them in like a traffic policeman. Jack grabbed his backpack and he cried, "Let's go before we get trampled." Keep it up, she as she took off after Jack. They ran farther up to the river. Jack from the incoming wild beasts. Finally, they stopped to catch their breath. They looked back. Everything seemed fine. The wild beasts were scrambling safely over the riverbank. Soon they were gazed on the grass, prepared by the zebras. "Good work," Jack said to Annie. "Thanks," she said. "Okay, now for our riddle." "No, first we've got to get clean," said Jack. "You look like you're in a mud suit." High-pitched laughter rang through the air. It sounded mocking and mean. Jack and Annie turned around. They saw two spotted brown animals standing in the tall grass. The creatures had bodies like dogs, but with sloping backs. They laughed again. "Ha ha," said Annie. "You don't look so great yourself." "What are they?" said Jack. He took out the book. He tried not to get mud on it as he looked for a picture. When he found it, he fell aloud. On the African plains, the hyena is the rolling predator. After the line, it makes a sound similar to a high-pitched human laugh. "What's predator mean?" said Annie. "It means it catches things and eats them." "Oh," said Annie. The two hyenas laughed again, and they moved closer to Jack and Annie. Quietly, Jack read more. The hyena had a reputation for being a thief and a coward. "Let's see if they're cowards," whispered Annie. "Let's try to scare them." The hyenas laughed and moved a little closer. "How?" Jack asked. "You act like a monster," said Annie. Now, Jack and Annie made terrible monster faces. They put out their hands and rushed at the hyenas. "Arg!" they shouted. The hyenas yelped and scurried off. "Scaredy cats," Annie shouted after them. "Come on," said Jack. Annie and Jack took off in the other direction. They ran around the bend in the river. Jack heard the hyena laughter again. It sounded far away. "Good," he said. "They're gone." "Hey, maybe we can wash over there," said Annie. She pointed to the edge of the forest. There was a small pond surrounded by tall grass. Zebras were drinking the water. Down to drink, the zebras ignored them as they walked toward the pond. When they reached the edge of the water, Jack set his heavy pack down in the dry grass. He glanced around. No lions were in sight, but then he heard something on the far side of the pond. Something very big was coming out of the cave. Pick and span. Be still, said Jack. Jack and Annie stood frozen as the elephant stepped out of the shadow. It waded into the pond and dipped its trunk into the water. Oh, wow, said Annie. Jack breathed a sigh of relief. An elephant wasn't going to chase them and eat them. Still, the elephant was huge. Let's sneak away, said Jack. But I want to watch them, and Annie. Fine, said Jack. He was tired of Annie getting sidetracked. I'm going to solve the riddle by myself. I'll meet you back at the treehouse. He turned to go. A spray of water rained down on him. It came from behind. He shouted with surprise and looked back. The elephant's trunk was pointed straight at Annie. Cool, she cried. He's giving me a shower. The elephant sprayed her again, then again. The muddy slow rolled off her face, her braids, her t-shirt, her shorts, her legs, and her sneakers. I guess the elephant doesn't like dirty kids, said Annie, laughing. Her eyes were squeezed shut. Finally, she was clean and soaking wet. Now it's your turn, she said to Jack. Jack stepped forward and shut his eyes tight. A blast of water hit him. It felt like a shower, a strong shower. Then Jack was clean. The elephant let out a grunt. Then he started to splash himself with water. Thanks, said Annie. Yeah, thanks, Jack. I'm back and span now, said Annie.
Stop. Wait. Wait. Signal's bad now, said whatever. Keep going.
When the sun dries me off, I'll be like new good, said Jack. Now we can get serious. He picked up his heavy pack. We have to figure out the answer to the riddle, so we can't leave this place before we run into real trouble. He looked around nervously. Where are the lions? He wondered. A small bird flitted near his head. Hi, Annie said to the bird. Jack turned back to her. According to riddle, we're looking for something gold and sweet. What do you want? Annie asked the bird. The bird twittered and flew around Jack and Annie. Its feathers were dull and gray, but it had a bright, happy manner. Annie listened to me. Not the bird, said Jack. The bird kept fluttering around them. She's trying to tell us something, said Jack. Let out a long sigh. You are driving me crazy today, he said. But I feel like she needs our help, said Annie. Maybe her babies fell out of the nest. Annie, you can't save every animal in Africa, said Jack. This bird is important, said Annie. Trust me. The bird darted toward the trees. It landed on a branch and cocked its head at them. He says, follow, said Annie. The bird headed into the forest. Annie started after it. Don't go there, said Jack. You might run into. There was no need to finish. The bird and Annie had disappeared into the tree. A snake or a lion, Jack said to himself. Come on, Annie called. Jack moaned. He pulled on his pack and ran. The peanut butter jar thumped against his back. Hi there. The forest was cooler than the sunny plains. I was filled with shadows and birds called. Where are you? Jack shouted. Here, said Annie. He found her in a thick glade. Bright rays streamed between the trees. Green leaves and vines swayed in the dark. The little gray bird sat in a tree twittering at them. Yuck, what's that? Said Annie. She pointed at a brown thing hanging from a low branch. Bees buzzed around it. If that's her nest, it's a pretty weird nest, said Annie. That's not a nest, said Jack. It's a beehive. Don't you see the bees? Yes, said Annie. She stepped back from the tree, but the little bird darted at the beehive and peeked at it. What's she doing? Said Annie. The birds kept peeking at the hive. I don't know. Maybe she's not as you, said Jack. Do her up in the book, said Annie. See if it says she's nuts. Are you kidding? Said Jack. That's nutty. Bird isn't going to be in the book. Just look. Jack opened his Africa book. He kept turning the pages. Just as he thought there was no great bird in the book. Forget it, he said. Keep looking, said Annie.
Stop. You keep looking. Now go.
Turn one more page and there it was, a little gray bird, a beehive, and a tall painted warrior with a spear. I don't believe this, said Jack. Then he read aloud. This bird is called a honeydew. It's both a friend and a helper to the Messiah. People and Africa tribe know for their fierce fighting skills and bravery. Hi, honey. Annie called to the bird. I knew you were important. Jack kept reading. The honeydew leads a Messiah tribesperson to a beehive. The bird waits for him or her to scatter the bees and stick the honey. Then the bird feasts on the honeycomb. That's cool, said Jack. They work together like the zebras and wild beasts, and Hazel. Yeah, said Annie, and she wants us to be her helpers. We had to scatter the bees and leave her the honeycomb. How do that? Said Jack. He looked back at the book. It didn't say how. Well, maybe we could wave those weeds at them, said Annie. She pointed to some bright green plants that looked like giant fans, but put his book and backpack down. He and Annie pulled up the weeds. They waved them near the tree, and the bees scattered. Next, Jack grabbed the tree branch and jiggled it. The hive fell to the ground and broke open. Annie stooped and stuck her finger into the golden honeycomb. Yummy, she said. When she tasted the honey, try it. Jack stuck his finger in the honeycomb. He licked off the golden honey. It was the sweetest honey he had ever tasted. Now the honey good can get to her honeycomb, said Annie. Yeah, but she'd better hurry before the bees come back, said Jack. It's weird, said Annie. Honey's so sweet and good, but to get it, you have to go past a lot of dangerous bees. Oh man, whispered Jack. That's it. That's what Annie asked. Jack said Morgan's riddle. I'm the color of gold and as sweet as can be, but beware of danger. That's all around me. What am I? I get it, Annie whispered. Honey, honey, said Jack, nodding and smiling. That's it. We've answered Morgan's riddle. Let's go home. He stood up to leave. He gasped. Standing in the saddles was a tall man with a spear and a curved sword hanging from its belt. His face was painted in fierce, bright colors. Jack knew at once what he was, a Messiah warrior. Hi there, Annie said in a small voice.
Pause. Wait. Okay, and go.
Yeah. The warriors started back at Jack and Annie. We were helping one of your honeydews, said Annie. The warrior was as still as a statue. We didn't mean to steal anything, Jack said. In fact, it's all yours. We've had enough. Lots of good honey still there, Annie said, smiling. The warrior narrowed his eyes. He angry, Jack wondered. I'm sorry, we were trespassing, said Jack. We come in peace. In fact, we bring gifts. He picked up his backpack and held it out to the warrior. The warrior still didn't move. Jack held up his book. Nothing. Jack reached into his pack. He pulled out the big jar of peanut butter. He pulled out bread. Hey, how about a peanut butter and honey sandwich? Yum. Annie said, watching the warrior. The warrior started at the food. We'll show you some now. As Jack unwrapped the bed, his hands shook. Annie opened the jar. We don't have anything to spread it with, she said. Use your fingers, said Jack. Excuse me, Annie said to the warrior. I have to use my fingers, but they're pretty clean and I'll just do it, Annie said. Jack. Okay. She spread the peanut butter onto a slice of bread with her fingers at the same time. Jack spread the honey from the beehive on another slice. Jack and Annie put their pieces of bread together. Ta-da, said Annie, handing the sandwich to the warrior. The warrior took the sandwich, but he didn't eat it. He just looked at it. Let's make sandwiches for us too, Jack said, so he doesn't have to eat alone. They quickly made 2 more sandwiches. See, like this, said Annie. She bit into her sandwich. Jack took a bite too. He said it was really good. Finally, the warrior bit into his sandwich. He chewed slowly. This is called a picnic, said Annie. They ate their sandwiches in silence. When they finished, Jack screwed the lid back on the peanut butter jar. Not bad, he said. The warrior smiled. He had a kind, feel smile. Jack and Annie smiled back at him. Then the warrior turned gracefully and vanished into the trees. Oh man, said Jack. Part of him wanted to follow the silent warrior through the shadowy forest. Ready? Annie asked softly. Jack nodded. Annie started to go. Wait, friend. Jack, he put away the peanut butter and bread. We're going back to the treehouse, right? We're not going to do anything silly like rescue anything or chase birds, right? Those things aren't silly, said Annie. Don't forget that bird gave us the answer to the riddle. Oh, right, said Jack. He looked at the little honey bird. She was on the ground peeking at the honeycomb. Thanks, Jack said to the bird. Have a good feast, said Annie. Jack put on his pack. Then he and Annie started out through the forest. Then when they passed the pond, they saw the elephant still splashing in the water. He lifted his trunk. He seemed to be waving at them. See ya, and he shouted, waving back. They rounded the bend in the river, then started through the tall grass. As they walked Jack toward the treehouse, they saw the wild beasts in the distance. There were still some crossing the river. They saw a family of zebras gazing together. They saw lone giraffes walking from the tree to tree, eating the leaves. And they saw a bunch of lions sleeping in the same tree. The same tree that the tree house was in. Boop, said Annie. Jack's heart gave a jump. So they are, Jack said. Tiptoe. Jack and Annie crouched in the tall grass. There was a big lion, 3 lionesses, and a bunch of cubs. I think they're sleeping, whispered Annie. Yeah, said Jack, but for how long? He pulled the Africa book from his pocket and opened it. He found a picture of lions sleeping under a tree. He read in a whispering voice. After a parade of lions has eaten, they rest for a few hours. What did they have for lunch? And they broke in. Don't ask, said Jack. He kept reading, sensing that lions are not hunting at the moment. The other animals graze nearby. If they can graze, then we're safe, said Annie. She started to stand. Wait, Jack pulled her down. Not so fast. He peered around the words in the book seemed true. The zebras and giraffes didn't seem to be bothered by the lions at all. They might be safe, but I'm not sure about us, said Jack. We need a plan. What if we wait till they leave, said Annie. That could take hours, said Jack. Plus, they might be again by then. Oh, right, said Annie. So here's the plan. We tiptoe, said Jack. Tiptoe, yeah, that's our whole plan, said Annie. Yeah, tiptoe to the ladder, and said Jack. Very quietly. Good plan, said Annie. He's just too. And Jack, he stood up slowly. Annie stood with him. They began tiptoeing through the grass very slow. The lion flicked his tail. Jack and Annie froze. When his tail was still again, they moved again. Suddenly, high-pitched ladder split. The air and Annie stopped. The hyenas were back. They were standing off to the slide, watching Jack and Annie. Jack and Annie made silent monsters and shook their furs, but the hyenas only laughed some more. The big lion stared lazily. He opened his golden knife. Jack felt the hair rising on the back of his neck, but he didn't move an inch. The lion lifted his head and yawned. His giant teeth gleamed in the sunlight. The lion turned his head as he looked around sleepily. Jack held his breath as the lion's gaze rested on him. The lion sat straight up. Here, his piercing yellow eyes met Jack's heart raised. His mind raced. He remembered something he'd read lions and full giraffes. Jack looked around. There was a giraffe walking toward the tree. The magic treehouse was instantly had a new plan. Get under that giraffe, he whispered. Now you're the one who's not said, whispered Jack. But Jack grabbed her hand. He pulled her over to the grass, and underneath it, the giraffe's legs were so long. Jack and Annie couldn't stand up under it. Jack's head barely brushed the giraffe's golden belly. The tall creature flowed for a few seconds. Then the slowly toward the tree. Jack and Annie walked in the same rhythm as the giraffe. They got closer and closer to the treehouse and closer to the pride of lions. The big lion had stood up. He watched them moving under the giraffe. When the rope ladder was just a few feet away, Jack and Annie dashed out from under the giraffe to the rope ladder. Annie scrambled up first. Jack followed right behind her. As they climbed the lion ground and leaped at the ladder, the hyenas laughed. Jack climbed faster than he'd ever climbed. He leaped after Annie into the treehouse. Annie had already unrolled the scroll. The riddle was gone. In its place was the shimmering word honey. Jack grabbed the Pennsylvania book. He opened it and found the picture of the Frog Creek Well. I wish we could go there, he said. Just then the giraffe stuck her head, said Annie, and she hit the giraffe on the nose. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still, honestly still. After lunch, Jack opened his eyes. His heart was still racing. Hyena laughter still rang in his ears. We made it, said Annie. Yes, said Jack, but it was very close. Jack took another moment to calm down. Then he pulled the Africa book out of his pack and put it with the other books. Annie put the scroll with the other two scrolls. The giraffe was the true honey on that trip. He said, sweet and golden with danger all around it. Yup, that's it. And now we have just one riddle to go. Yup, said Annie. Ready, ready. She started down the ladder. Jack followed. When they hit the ground, they walked through the sunlight woods. It's time for lunch, said Jack. I'm full from our picnics. Same here, said Jack. What do we tell Mom? Said Annie. We say we ate our sandwiches coming back from the sea. It was for Africa. Annie laughed right. She said, because we didn't want them to be made at for taking the honey. Right, said Jack. The honey from a beehive, that a honey good let us do. Right, said Annie. That happened after an elephant gave me a shower, and after an elephant gave me a shower, and we scared off two hyenas. Right, said Jack. And after you fell into a mud hole because you were helping a million wild beasts migrate across a river, right, said Annie. And all that was before a giraffe saved us from a lion. Right, said Jack. Jack and Annie left the Frog Creek Woods and started up their sunny space. They was silent for a moment. Jack pushed his glasses into place. We better just say we ate our sandwiches on the way home from the store. He said, right, said Eddie. And if Mom asks what start Jack, you'll just say it's a really long time, said Eddie. Right, said Jack, with like 10 chapters. Eddie laughed. Good plan, she said. Very good plan, said Jack. They crossed their yard. They went up their steps. Their front door were back. Annie sounded great, called her mom. Ready for lunch? I finished the book. Yes, I'm finished.
You finished the book?
Good job.
I like the book because the first one was called, the first chapter was called Before Lunch and the end was called After Lunch. It was so fun.
Is that... Yeah, I read that book. That was fun, yeah. Can I see it? Can you show it to us?
Well, at the very end, it's so funny. I want to show you.
Can you read this to
I'm going to
us?
show you the end. It's so funny. Yum.
Yummy. I think it said yummy. Can you show me us the chapters that said lunch and more lunch?
Okay. Before lunch, after lunch.
Well, let me see. I can't see. Can you see the microphone?
Turn it around.
What?
Hazel, you turn it.
No.
I thought you turned it up.
Get back in your chair.
Alright, Wolfie.
Look. Hazel, that's not how you do it.
Actually, it is.
No, it isn't.
Alright, so can you show us the chapters?
This is before lunch.
I have to see this part, okay? Come here. Come here, Wolfie.
This is before lunch.
Wolfie, come closer.
This is before lunch. This is jumpy.
No, I can't. Come here. Just,
Yeah, I'm doing it.
yeah.
This is before lunch. Jumpy jump. Disaster. Mud bath. Ha ha. Hi there. Yum. Tiptoe. After lunch.
Okay, so what's your favorite page?
My favorite page in the book. It's a very cute one. I love it. It's so cute.
Alright. He's showing us his favorite page. Okay. If you can't find it, that's fine.
Yes, I got it.
Are those hyenas? Where's her eyes?
What?
Where's her eyes?
She's looking there.
Oh. Okay, that was a little bit scary for me. But do you have any other favorite pages? What's the funniest page?
The funniest page.
I know what you might say.
Oh, I know.
I know what you might say.
Yummy.
I knew it. I guess that's a bye. Bye.